All right. So welcome everybody. Today is February 10th. This is our regular Zoom that we've been conducting for the last 2 months. We basically designed to empower, to inform, to welcome new members into our network. WeAreAllEssential.ca is a true network of small businesses who are also becoming activists in their own rights. And it's not necessarily something that these businesses signed up when they opened the business, but the reality made so that we have to take action, regardless wherever the government is trying to intimidate the businesses or force them to operate at different levels, etc. So WeAreAllEssential.ca is a network of powerful Canadians, small business sector, and volunteers, of course, who are present on this call. So welcome to all the volunteers too, who are helping behind the scenes, making what the success that it already is. Huge debt of gratitude goes to Samantha Flatman, managing director of our initiative, who's been working tirelessly for the last 2 months, making, again, the success that it already is, with a beautiful website from Daniel Ray Assistance, and putting all the pieces together. I'm sure most of you understand having a business, it takes a lot of resources and energy and focus to create something powerful like it already is. So again, thank you to Samantha, to Daniel, and all of you members of our network, the business owners, the volunteers. You definitely doing what you can to spread the message, spread the empowerment, and grow our network. So it gives me great pleasure to announce that we are, I think, at 500 businesses already, or very close to it. We had very tiny, right? So we're almost there. And the reality is a lot of businesses haven't officially registered yet. Like, I get messages all the time from the businesses saying that, they're going to open regardless. And that's totally fine. Some businesses maybe don't necessarily want to register yet. Trust me, they will later, right? But they're choosing to open regardless, because they had enough. They're getting inspired from all the social media and everything else that's been out there, the articles, the media surprisingly been very good to us, to a certain extent, of course. Again, they have the editors and limiting what they can express, but it's been very, good to see that, from Block.to and National Post and Toronto Star and bunch of other news outcasts, etc. They've been promoting pretty much us, right? And even if they try to twist a little bit what we're trying to do, I always said from the beginning that there's only publicity. It's not good or bad, it's just publicity. Because at the end of the day, if people don't know about us, they cannot be a part of our movement, they cannot be empowered and inspired and choose action to open up. So, as much as some people, sometimes give backlash to the mass media, I always do my best to engage with them, because even if we talk to them and they feature just 1% of everything that I shared, it's still 1% that gets out there and we have some type of control and influence on, right? So, having said that, as I already obviously mentioned, and most of you guys know, February 11th, which is tomorrow, is the grand reopening of Canada, right? And very important point to make is that that date was actually chosen by you, by our members. It wasn't chosen by me or Samantha or anyone from, official, We All Essential back team, so to speak, right? It was chosen by you members. And that was a great example of initiative and ownership that all of you are taking of this network, right? It's not just an association where you, not necessarily engaged, you're just getting some emails and maybe occasionally you're doing something. It inspires me daily to see Telegram chat. Sometimes I cannot keep up, and don't worry about it. Just do your thing. But it's amazing to see how, it took a life of its own. All of you guys are coming together, supporting each other. Some of you business members, you've been defining this government for a while, and you almost, taken under your wing, other business owners that are still, just new to this, or they're not sure, or they're hesitant or whatever, and you just doing what you can. You're doing whatever it takes to empower others to join. Because again, as they try to use this slogan, and we are all in this together, which is not true when the government official says, but it's very true when we say it, and then other business owners say that we all in this together, right? And we're gonna do whatever it takes to not just survive, but to thrive, right? And I think that's also one of the reasons why we're getting such a positive reception, even from some of the outlets that not necessarily going to be positive about us. Because if you think about it, we are all essential, such a positive slogan that whoever tries to diminish us or discredit us, they just look silly themselves, right? So by design, we already have a lot of power working for us, and now we just have to expand this even more, and we're already doing this. I know we're going to get to 1,000 businesses very soon. I made a statement last week that we'll be there by tomorrow, and it's totally fine. And again, the way I see it is we have a huge number of businesses that just haven't took that registration step yet, but they are watching and they're waiting, right? And all we have to do is we have to do our part to provide successful, positive, and efficient way for other people to join us and stand together and be strong in our representation of our needs, of our desires, and to make sure that the government actually respects all of you business owners, right? And that's probably would be one of the foundational kind of statement to make, is that unfortunately to this day, in the last 10, 11 months of this 2 weeks flatten the curve nonsense, if you think about it, even with some of the subsidies and government programs, whatever, it's not really designed to help your business thrive. If nothing else, it's just a few kind of crumbs the government gives you, so then you would stay compliant and complacent, right? And the analogy that I was always making from the beginning, going to the protest since last May, is that what the government is doing to Canadians, and especially to the business sector, and I'll talk in a moment why, is that they're cooking us slowly like a frog. And if you don't know that analogy, is the way you cook a frog is you take a live frog and you put it in a cold pot of water, and you cook it on a very, very slow temperature. So the temperature increases slowly, and the frog never jumps out, and it cooks it to death. And unfortunately, that's what the government is doing to the small business sector. Now, when I get these questions, and I got them for a while, why the government would do it? What's the interest for the government to dismantle the small business? Like, isn't that doesn't make sense? I'm like, no, it actually makes total sense, because the history is full of example. All we have to do is either study the history or talk to other people. That when you have a tyrannical government that's installing, and that's what we're seeing, literally right in front of our eyes, we see installation of a tyrannical government here in Canada. As crazy as it sounds, me saying it, that's actually what's happening. And in order for the tyrannical government to succeed, they cannot have independent people. So this again is, the history is full of examples, in Soviet Russia, in Nazi Germany, and many other places around the world, in times where the small business class or the middle class, the intellectuals, etc., those people are the free thinkers. They question the status quo. They don't like to be told what to do, right? And ultimately being independent and self-reliant people, right? All of you business owners, you don't work in the office. You don't want to get a paycheck, right? And nothing wrong about that, but you're choosing to create your own prosperity, right? Because you are action-oriented, you're intelligent, you're smart, you're a go-getter, and you want that even, that sort of game of a risk. You're taking a risk opening your business, but the reward will be phenomenal, right? And that's what you want, because again, that's who you are. And guess what? The government, tyrannical government, cannot have people like you. So how do you control and how do you suppress independent thinkers? You economically suppress them first. And that's exactly what the government has been doing at all the levels, at the federal, provincial, municipal, at all the levels, is dismantling small business class, because then they can economically suppress you, and then you become dependent. You become manipulated, you become easily controlled, and ultimately becoming obedient slaves. And that's what the tyrannical government wants to have, because then they can do whatever they want to you. Because once you're going to be reliant on a basic income, because they're trying to install the basic income, as we all know now, then you're going to do whatever the government tells you to do. You getting tested, getting 10 vaccines a day, a year, whatever they want to do to you, they can, because they're controlling. And again, for all of you, most of you have young families, you got to provide food on the table for your kids and stuff. So you will do it. You will do whatever you have to provide for your family. So we cannot allow to get to that stage. And that's where I've been saying that, you are, as a business owners, are actually true freedom fighters for our country and actually for the world. But we have to focus on Canada, because we have to save Canada. It's obviously where we are. And as much as some people are choosing to leave the country, I'm not leaving this country. I'm in
Move your finger from the mic.
I'll make sure that, you know, we definitely succeed. You know, I have, you know, a young child, I have another baby on the way. So we're doing it for our children, right? We're going to make sure that we have freedoms in our country, like our grandparents and parents wanted to make sure that we have freedoms in our country for us, right? And that's the legacy that we have to connect. And the other thing that I was going to say in terms of the business owners is that, like I said earlier, it's not necessarily something you signed up, maybe you open your business, but you have to now. And I actually was watching today quickly between running around, I was watching a Colbert report where he talked a little bit about the history is full of examples where there was a lot of protests happening. You know, millions of people protesting different things, you know, the bank bailouts and other many things. And the reality is nothing happened necessarily just from the protests, right? However, they were talking about the example of this stock markets, you know, thing that happened with GameStop or whatever. And that was an example of a bunch of people coming together and actually opposing the stock market and the Wall Street, you know, conglomerates, whatever. So it just shows us a great example of power of numbers, of people coming together and actually taking real action. So to me, all of you guys taking the action of opening the business is the best way. We don't just protest. And that's the other thing I was going to say. Tomorrow, February 11th, is not a single day occurrence, right? It's not just about opening one day. Tomorrow, that's when we're launching, but we are staying open. That's why even I asked from the beginning, the tab on the website to be #StayOpen. You know, from the beginning, the vision was always we are staying open regardless. You know, we just need to have a coordinated action to make sure that we have strength in numbers. And obviously, it's much harder, if not impossible, for the government to crack down on us. And that's why we need to grow in numbers. And we're already, you know, definitely getting there, which is exciting to see. But like I said, you know, you as a business owner are true frontliners, freedom fighters for our country and actually for the world. I'm fired up. Can you say it? So I just want to give me the opportunity to a couple of businesses to share. Again, just bear in mind, we're going to share this all over social media. I really would love to get this recording viral so that other business owners can get inspired, volunteers can get inspired to join our network. And again, we have to open our country. Enough is enough. You know, they're already planning the third lockdown, etc. This is going to be a perpetual thing. The last thing I'm going to say, and then I want to open to hear from some of you guys for sure, is that when people were asking me from the beginning, and again, you know, it doesn't make sense what the government is doing. It actually makes total sense if you understand the true agenda, right? And the true agenda is a great reset, is to collapse the small business sector, is to make sure that the big corporations and conglomerates have the wealth. And the last thing I'm going to say, and let's hear from other people, is that what happened in the last 10 months, it's actually the biggest wealth heist in the history of humanity. This is what we need to understand. The politicians, bureaucrats, and the corporations, they are criminals. They are true criminals because what they've been exercising is the biggest wealth heist in the history of humanity. And again, we can stop this because we, the people, have the power. And it's not the government, it's not the people that should be afraid of the government, it's the government should be afraid of the people. Because again, we have the power.
I'd love to just jump in and share one more thing before we open it up to the businesses and anyone else. You know, I'm in the unique position as managing director. I manage all of the social media. I manage all of the communications behind the scenes. I receive hundreds, no joke, no exaggeration, hundreds of messages a day. And so I'm in the unique position of seeing just how supported we are by Canadians as a whole. I would say, and once again, not an exaggeration, 95% of the messages that I get every single day are overwhelmingly enthusiastic, full of gratitude. Thank you for me doing this. We've been needing this for so long. Just massive respect to all the business owners that are taking a stand. I mean, and I just, having been an activist, not for a long time, but for the last 10 months or so, and having shared a lot about different issues and gotten a lot of pushback, right? And it hasn't been well received. This initiative is like, people are just, I would say, you know, Canadians are ready for this. And so once again, thank you all for, you know, those of you that are that are taking a stand with us, I just want you to know that there is so much appreciation and so much support for you guys. I just before this call sent out an email to 500 people who want to show up tomorrow and beyond to support you guys. And then that's one email, because you know what, we've got alliances with other groups, big groups that want to send out awareness to their list. So I would be confident in saying there's probably about 10,000 people that we have access to that, are just rooting for us to ensure that this is a massive success. And yeah, I can't wait to see, just how quickly this grows from here, because as Vlad was saying, there's, once again, I have that sort of rare, unique position of being able to see have a lot of conversations with business owners as well that are thinking about this and asking questions and haven't signed up yet. But there are so many people watching. And I really do think that, tomorrow is going to inspire so many other businesses to join us. So I wouldn't be surprised if we doubled by the end of the week. I mean, obviously I don't know for sure, but this is the feeling that I get. There's still a lot of other groups that are doing similar things, like smaller groups around the country, but we are the go-to network. There's not a doubt in my mind. And so all these little groups that are doing similar initiatives to open up businesses and to support businesses, they are actually now joining forces with us, and they're sending everyone to us. So it's the ripple the word is getting out there. As Vlad said, we've had incredible media coverage. Like most other topics are getting, censored, or they're getting, just ignored entirely by the mainstream media. We have everyone coming out to us. Like, we wrote a press release today, and I honestly don't even think we needed to do that, because they have all been finding us and approaching us. So, anyway, I'm really proud of everybody, because it really has been an entire network. Our network, it's an active network. It's not just me, it's not just Vlad, it's not just the people on this call. There are there are hundreds of people, thousands of people behind this already, and we're just getting started. So thank you all for everything that you're doing. And yeah, excited to see what comes.
Let's go. We're all fired up. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. I'm excited. And again, one more thing I want to mention, and then definitely let's hear from some of the business owners as well as some of the volunteers, and feel free to share whatever. Again, this is open. We have nothing to hide, right? But the good thing that we have working for us specifically is that we already see success stories from around the world, and actually here in Canada. There's obviously examples in England and in Italy and other places where the business is just standing up and defining. And again, the government can do much because, like we said, we have a power because we have the numbers and we have a truth on our side. And even here in Canada, in Alberta, I'm sure most of you are familiar, there's been a big push from the restaurants specifically around Alberta. And guess what? Jason Kenney, the Premier of Alberta, is definitely backing down and allowing it to open. So we know we can do this, guys. We can definitely influence the government policies, and we are doing it. So tomorrow is super excited, very important day. But again, it's just a launch, like the official launch of opening our country. You are essential to yourself. You're essential to your employees because you provide the livelihood for them. You're essential fabric of your local community because that's what the local community is made out of. And guess what? You're essential to the Canadian economy. And that statement should be very, very considered hard and long by all the politicians, that the small businesses is actually the primary healthy sector of the Canadian economy. And we need to have a healthy Canadian economy, not the subsidy-driven economy. All right, let's hear for some businesses. Who wants to go first? Go ahead, Rebecca.
I'll go first. Hi guys. Hi everyone.
One second, Isaiah, let's go Rebecca first and then Isaiah.
I can wait.
No, let's go.
I had to unmute.
Yes.
Hi everybody, I'm Rebecca from Calgary. Thank you so much for having me here. Love this group already. So I've been a gym owner for 26 years. I've actually owned 4 companies, but still own a gym. I'm on my second lockdown now, as we know. Gym's pretty much first to close, last to open, which blows my mind because you would think the government wants us healthy, but they don't. Let's see, I work with Calgary Police Service part-time, and I started with that lovely lady Adele on here. I started or helped start Freedom for Canada. So we do the same thing. We do the Zoom meetings and get people together and teach them about rights and freedoms that are being taken away. I'm also the main plaintiff in the lawsuit against the provincial government. So we've been in court once now, and then they've stalled us for our next court date. But we go back again Friday, and fingers crossed, we get another date to go back in March. So unfortunately for me, I would love to open my gym, but the amount of money and time and stuff that I've spent on this lawsuit, the lawyer says, if you open, it could actually hurt us. Because I was ready to just say, forget it and open my doors. So that's what I'm hoping is Friday we get a court date and we move from there.
Awesome.
But thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
For sure. And again, you know, obviously with your connections, obviously on many levels, and then your experience, you can direct other businesses that are not in the same position as you are. And you're definitely taking a tremendous action step, and you want to be strategic about it too. So you don't want to compromise your case, because your case can lay a foundation which can help everyone, right?
And,
so
and that's our goal is to open all businesses.
Right? So you're doing your part.
I'm not Rebecca versus the province to open my gym. We're actually going to get Hinshaw and Kenny prove that these measures work, and that there is actually this virus out there killing all of these people, and let's get all the businesses open. That's our goal.
Awesome. Thank you for doing what you can, and thank you for, you know, spreading the message if you can, and get the, you know, other people to open up and inspire them, because at the end of the day, again, it's going to take all of us in many different groups coming together. You know, Canada is huge, and it's a beautiful country, and we've got to keep it this way, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Hi.
Isaiah, go, brother. I'm fired up. Let's go.
My name is Salah. I'm the owner of Bless Barbershop. I own 2 businesses in Ottawa. I had one restaurant on Ogilvy, just shut down because of COVID. I lost it. I opened in 2019. I closed it down in August 2020. And the reason of shutting down, because I closed it because of COVID on Ogilvy. And when I reopened and paid all my rent, the landlord, he decided to kick me out because not paying rent on time and not operating for business under there's no, like he told me there is no lot to close your restaurant, but they told me to close both my businesses. So I shut down that business and I started working on this barbershop. I opened another location on Carling, my second location in the middle of the renovation, and they shut me down on December 26, 2020, when they shut both my businesses down. And I had to pay rent for both stores. And today, February 10, 2021, my birthday. And I opened this shop on my birthday, on February 10. And I'll show everyone. I opened my second downstairs on my February 2020, February 10, 2020. So I celebrate my birthday in a way. I put some work, as you see now in my shop, putting work as usual, and I can show you proofs. 1 second. I opened this business.
Yes.
Downstairs, as you see everyone.
Yeah.
In February 10.
Yes.
So when my buddy Isaiah, he came and talked to me about the group, WeAreAllEssential, I really agreed with him 100%. And I'm really down with you guys because I believe on my birthday, I always have something good comes up. So February 10, I swear to God, every February 10, I have something in my life very, very special. I'm telling you, like I'm talking to you and
I feel it, brother. I feel it. That's amazing. I love the energy.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
I saw my mom for the first time. I'm 21, 22. I saw my mom for the first time of my life on my birthday as well. So good luck everyone for opening tomorrow. And I wish you best of luck. And I'm the number 1 opening tomorrow at 10 to 8. Even my employees, they called me, they told me, sorry, we're not gonna come. I have two of my employees that are not gonna show tomorrow, but still, we are all essential. We have bills to pay, we have rent to pay. I'm sorry, Doug, for it, but fuck yourself. Sorry about that.
Amazing.
And
I love it.
Birthday today.
Fired up, brother. Fire
Thank
it
you
up.
very much for listening to me. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, this is examples of
And guess what? Everyone should stay blessed because
Yes,
that's what my logo of my company. Stay
I
blessed
love it.
and
Stay
stay
blessed.
safe. Thank
100%.
you.
We are all blessed and highly favored, especially when we take the action. And that's what we're going to see happening and already is happening. And thank you so much. Thank you, Zaza. Beautiful, brother. Okay, next. Who would like to share something? If you just unmute yourself, go ahead. Don't be shy. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us. Go ahead.
I did a video the other day, so it was pretty good. A lot of positive feedback. I've gotten a bunch of people that have emailed me, messaged me. I think I've gotten 4 negative responses on all my social medias. On my Instagram, 2 people got really special and kept going, but about a dozen people were on top of it. So I didn't even respond. So, which was great. So everybody is 100% behind you. We can't wait. It's about time. Everyone's getting excited. Sending me people. I've had somebody from Shelburne say her and her husband wanted to thank me, that it was the right thing. They're in a small town. They try to get everybody in their town to do it. They found one other person, so I just encouraged them to join our group. And I said, even if the 2 of you open in Shelburne, you might be surprised who's behind the scenes that's sitting, waiting, watching. They might be frightened to do it. They might think they're alone because they can't see further than that. And then once they see you do it or hear about you doing it or others doing it, they'll start to step forward. So that's the one thing that we really got to consider is all the eyes that are on us watching us. So we're going to become the inspiration to lead those through. So even if it's a small amount of us compared to all across Canada that open up on the 11th, by the time we hit the 16th, the 17th, it's going to keep growing and growing and growing, and it's not going to stop. That's the whole thing. We just got to keep it moving forward and rely on those that are behind us and truly behind us and are waiting for us to do this. That's been the biggest message that I've been hearing is we've been waiting. We've been waiting. We've been waiting. So it's great to see. So I'm glad I'm proud I'm a part of it.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Thank you. Just want to mention quickly before Samantha, we're all like excited to share and jump, right? What you said right now is so true and so powerful, is that, you know, we given permission to other people to do the same, you know, with our courage, with our brave stand. And if you think about this, you know, think of your courage as a candle, right? When you light up the candle, you can light up the other candle and you don't lose any flame. And you are that flame. Your courage is that flame. And by you taking action and taking that stand, you inspiring and empowering other people with courage that they have inside of them, but they just need a little bit of a spark. So choose to be the spark and light for other people to shine on greatness inside of them. And that's what all of you are doing. I'm so inspired by all of you guys.
One thing I wanted to add is that one of the most common questions that we get is, you know, what do we do in the event of, you know, people are worried about fines, they're worried about all, you know, the enforcement, right? And then it's a valid question. And as much as we don't get into those details on these calls, I would love it if one of our members could speak to some of the support and some of the training that you've experienced and benefited from behind the scenes, right? Sandy, I don't know if you have a moment to share a little bit about that, or who else do I see on the call that I know has been very active with the training? Or we could go back to Jamie. I know you've been super active. I'm trying to just scan through the call, but just it's one of those things where we don't publish it all on the website. We don't publish it. We don't speak to it all on these calls. I mean, there's a lot. There's quite a bit to it. There's the 101, and then there's, you know, the going advanced, and we get there and we offer that behind the scenes. But I would, you know, love to hear from somebody else if anyone's willing to share about what you've learned and how you've learned that. You're muted, Sandy. I see you moving toward the camera, but I don't see you're unmuting.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
I shared your Instagram videos. So good. So powerful, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, you know something? We've all been doing. I did one a few weeks ago. Jamie just, like he said, he popped his up. Actually his popped up, and I was in filming mine as his pops up. So I was like, oh no. I just want to, before I cut, like the training side of things, there's so much to learn, guys, in this group. Everything from common law. That's the one thing that I'm really been more focusing on is the common law stuff. But if anybody needs help, even with the constitutional stuff, as someone that, you know, I swore an oath to serve and protect, and when I served my country, that was the one thing that I stood for, was those rights. And, you know, whether it's common law or the charter, though the Charter of Rights is based off of the natural laws of what God gave us. So if anybody has any questions, please, you know, shoot me an inbox, message me. But I just kind of wanted to tell a little story today. You know, I've been open for almost 2 weeks. This will be 2 weeks that I've been open. Last week, I never took any appointments. I moved all my appointments, but I took all, you know, I was booking. This week, I've done actually 3 pieces this week. I keep my door still shut, locked. I don't let people just walk in. I keep it appointment based. But today I got a phone call from an OPP liaison officer. And it's funny, there's another person that's part of We Are Essential in my town. They got a phone call. And I had about a 30-minute conversation with the officer on the phone. And we were just kind of going back and forth. And for anybody that's out there that's absolutely in fear of getting any fine at all, the one thing he reiterated to me is that it's a civil fine. Nothing is criminal. These are not criminal acts. If you obviously berate a police officer or attack a police officer.
Sorry, Sandy, you muted. Unmute yourself. Unmuted yourself. Sandy.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So if the police show up when I was talking to him today, if the police show up, you be courteous, be nice, be respectful, the whole 9 yards. But nothing is criminal.
No.
And he kind of let it sneak today. He told me the biggest fine I can get is $1,000. Now, whether that's $100,000 or $2,000 or $800, that he let it sleep and he sneaked it out to me. Now, 30 minutes having that conversation with this gentleman kind of opened my eyes, and I mentioned common law to him, and I mentioned that he's a public servant and he works for us. And I can tell you, I don't want to say his name, obviously, but what he told me was that there's a lot more police officers out there that are backing this.
Yes.
And one of the things that I've been very adamant from, and anybody that really does know me knows that when it's a public service member, a firefighter, a paramedic, a police officer, and especially the military and armed service members, they always get 15% off my service when they come in to see me. That's something, and if they don't want to take the 15% off, I donate 15% to whatever charity that they do. So I'm actually selling him me, and he's like, I'll see you soon. So I just kind of wanted to just tell that little story. You know, it was a great conversation. We talked about a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to go into a lot of it because some of it was personal, but the point is everything is civil. Nothing is criminal. And that's the biggest fear people are having. Oh, you're going to get arrested. No, you're not going to get arrested. Bylaw's going to come. If they do, take the fine. You'll see them in court. It's like a parking ticket. That's really all it is. Yeah. And they can't shut you down if it's private property. They cannot legally. That's why, again, we've all seen Adam Skelly. He's going to win this crap, man. Yeah. He has them by the balls. So it's, you know, but when it comes to the training, all I can say, man, is, you know, learn it, read as much as you guys possibly can. It's a lot of information, but then talk to your fellow businesses. I keep talking to my fellow businesses. Jamie nailed it, I think, when he said, you know, a lot of them are kind of waiting in the wings to see what happens tomorrow. And I think that's what a lot of them are doing. They're just not sure what they want to check. And, you know, there's a couple people on here that know my history, but when it comes to my studio, I've always said, at the end of the day, you know, I named my shop All That Remains for a reason. And right now, all that remains is us standing up and fighting these people. We need to stand and fight. And the group of people that are here, I tell you, I feel more empowered. I love talking to everybody here. You know, it's such a great group. And for all those businesses that are afraid, don't be. Open. And tomorrow open. And Thursday open. Friday open. Saturday open. Keep opening. Never close. Don't do one day and then close. Keep
going.
Open.
Stay open. That's the slogan.
Exactly.
Stay open.
and show Doug Ford and show Trudeau and show every premier that at the end of the day, they need us more than we need them.
Oh yeah.
If they want their career to keep going, they better start making the right decisions.
100%, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you again.
Well, thank you guys very much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we all on this together and making a difference. And again, it takes, you know, people like yourself taking that stand and being courageous and inspiring others to do so. Thank you for being the first in this wave of opening our country. So definitely inspirational and empowering. Thank you. Let's hear maybe from some of the volunteers too. I'd like to get, you don't necessarily have to be a business owner to share some of your insight, obviously related to We All Essential, but maybe something, if people want to share, please go ahead, obviously open forum today. We want to get a lot more stories out there. Again, this will be shared publicly all over. Please share once you're watching this so more people can see it and more people can join. So anything that you would like to share relatable to small businesses or anything else that's going on, go right ahead.
Hey Vlad, it's Tamara. I'll share for a few minutes.
Hey Tamara. Woohoo.
Hey guys. Well, I'm not having as much success in Saskatchewan as I would like. Obviously, everyone here is mostly just scared. We have a couple of businesses, one in Regina and one in Saskatoon, that got $14,000 tickets a few weeks ago. One of them being a restaurant that the freedom fighters frequent after our big rallies. So she's, kind of been a target. It wasn't, the business we're in all the time. It's the one across the street, the pub that she has. But I sent her this info, and two of the organic stores here who recently decided to bring in very similar mask mandates that Costco has, where they're putting shields on people with medical exemptions, which is unfortunate because, if our natural health people aren't willing to stand up to this, they definitely need our support. So, I did get a little bit of positivity this week. I asked that they sign up and, do something to support tomorrow, at the very least, start hopping on these Zooms and just kind of get empowered and see that they're not alone in this fight. So I'm hoping soon that Saskatoon and Regina stand up. A couple people went to the We Are Essential site and they noticed there was literally only 2 businesses in all of Saskatchewan that, that had joined and are going to open their doors. Or, I shouldn't even say open the doors. They're still kind of open, but they're just, willing to put their name out there and let everybody make it known that they're, standing up to tyranny here. So, yeah, fingers crossed for Saskatchewan. We definitely need some more power warriors. Like, the worst thing about being self-employed and working from home is that I don't have a storefront business where I can help show them how it's done, because I would like nothing more than to be out there defying and taking more fines than I've already taken. So
I know. Well, you're doing what you can, and thank you. And being a mom of young children, I really appreciate your determination. You're one of the most active people out of the whole province. So thank you for everything that you're doing, and it matters. It really does matter. I always do my best to empower people, keep taking action, because even the small action that you take, it's not really small. It might look small, but the impact you can never really comprehend fully, because even a simple smile for someone might change a whole life for them. So same thing with all the actions that we take, and it's very important to keep going and doing what you can.
Absolutely. And there's always people watching, and, even if they don't have the strength or the voice to speak up, I get messages all the time from people who don't want to like a post or say something, but they're always messaging. I get lots of hate mail too, but even the good stuff, kind of takes away from all that. So Vlad, I'm super grateful for you too and everything that you're doing here.
Thank you, Tamara.
All of you, actually. Thank you very much to everybody.
Thank you for speaking up and then doing what you can. Yeah, it's powerful to see people coming together. And I say this often, and I'll say this because, again, the recording will get out there, that, this is probably the first time since the Second World War that humanity is really coming together, right? And it's very important and powerful to keep that in mind, that we have these powerful people coming together behind a common cause. And a lot of those people, maybe in the past, not necessarily would want to work together. In fact, I'm sure a lot of people might not want to even work on the same side of the street, and that's totally fine. But guess what? We are all marching together now. And that's, again, the power of a positive spin, so to speak, that we can focus on what took place in the last 10 months, that people of all walks of lives, of all the ethnic backgrounds, religious backgrounds, the professional backgrounds, coming together for the common cause to defend humanity and defend freedom in our country. Because guess what? On top of we are all essential, freedom is essential as well. If anyone else would like to share, please go ahead. Yes, Wendy, go ahead, please. Unmute yourself.
There we are. Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I have perhaps not so unique a situation where I'm so off in the boondocks that we don't have a whole lot of business around here. Very sort of elderly population, strange kind of spread out population. So I had to make a decision how I was going to use my time the best that I could. So I just decided to be a keyboard warrior. And so I've been going on Facebook and actually focusing on Saskatchewan, just because that's where the Facebook led me to, and to these little salons and things like that, and just leaving the messages. And Samantha, I love your little video. I think you may have heard me talk about it on the chat. It's just so awesome because it's short, but it just covers everything that people need to know right away. And so I throw that on the message, and I throw the poster on the message because that gives a lot of information about tomorrow. Well, we'll probably be having more posters later, but that's what I've been doing. Then a little introductory note of who I am real quick, and if they can get back to me, and just sort of with the idea that, you know, I don't know, the old sales pitch is what, red, yellow, and green. You know, you have a green light customer who's just all on board right away. Then you've got a yellow customer who's just not quite sure. And then you have a red customer who's just a no, and you don't want to waste any time on them. You just, you know, keep coming back to the yellow light. So I now have a listing of people in my messages that I have contacted, and so then I'll do follow-up with them because, you know, a lot of these people are closed, and I tried calling people on the phone, and, you know, it's just, you know, their voicemail is full or some whatever it is, or, you know, call back later, whatever. Just thought, at least if I get the message to them, they'll see the name, and they'll see that there's someone poking at them, you know, and maybe something will happen. Maybe they'll get fined or something like that. And then they'll go, oh, yeah, I got this note, you know, and maybe they'll get back to me. Or maybe they'll be a green light customer when I go back to them, because they'll have seen something on TV and just said, that's enough, and, you know, hit their last straw, you know. And so, so that's how I'm going about it. And then I had some success with a person that I found out who was fined. I saw this person, I can't divulge anything at all, but they were fined. There was an article in a mainstream newspaper about them, and I just, you know, did a little sleuthing and found out their phone number and called them. And so then, you know, a few minutes later, the phone rang, and it was this person who was just so glad to hear from me. And he might join us. I think he will.
Yeah.
So I was just really pumped all day, because that person really, really needs us. And it's such a good thing to know that you're going to make a difference with somebody, that they're so alone and they're so isolated with this crazy situation. But now there's a lifeline, you know, and
you literally took the words out of my mind. The lifeline. You are that lifeline for them. You are the whole world to that person with your phone calls. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's my pleasure, because I'm just all adrenaline from that one call, but it's an important one. So we'll hear more from that person, I think.
Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. No, that's so powerful and so amazing. I mean, it just, you know, yeah, please, thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Planting those seeds is crucial, because the reality is it's going to take a few times for some people to keep listening, to keep hearing the message, you know, seeing, you know. That's why it's great that media is promoting us, because, you know, that person might have got a message, or they saw a social post on Instagram or whatever. They might have seen, you know, Jamie or Sandy talking, or other people in our network, right? You know, different press releases, all those things are going to create this cascading effect, right? And it's important. Every single thing matters. You know, that phone call matters, the post mattered, the follow-up message mattered. Like, everything together makes a difference. So thank you, Wendy, and everybody else for doing that.
My pleasure. Thanks, Vlad, for all you do.
Vlad, I wondered if I should show the website just real quick at the end.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Yeah.
Do you want me to do that now?
Sure. Unless somebody wants to share something, but yeah, you can go ahead, and then we'll see. I'm going to see some questions. If there's any specific I can answer.
I'll just take 1 minute to share the website, and yeah, drop any remaining questions that anyone has. Am I muted? No, okay, good. and then yeah, we'll get some more shares and questions answered afterward. Just real quick.
Yeah, and then guys, definitely put social handlers in the comments so then other people can follow you. So Isaiah shared his Instagram, blessedcut613, obviously for the Ottawa region. So I'll definitely make sure that I'll share and promote his account. And guys, we should do the same for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is our beautiful website. And yes, thank you, Daniel Ray, for making it happen, because it's such an incredible hub for us. Ignore all my millions of tabs open at the top, but basically homepage right here, we've got businesses featured along the bottom. This is constantly rotating, so often it's the newest businesses that are actually on the page every day, but then it keeps cycling through. So each one of these is clickable, so you'll get to have a full profile, and you can add as much stuff as there as you want, so that you can really benefit from the thousands of people that are checking out our website every day and looking to support small businesses like yours. So for those that are seeing this call and have learned a lot about us and they're looking to join us now, this is exactly where you go, join network. Okay, so click on this right here, and it's a very quick form. I think it would take five minutes, maybe 10 minutes, yeah, depending on how easily accessible, say, your logo is, or your, a little video of your business is, or, writing a small description of your business. Just a few key things, but by all means, the fields aren't mandatory. But the more you put in your profile, the more attractive you're going to be to potential customers, right? But then you, by doing this process, you actually have your own account on our website, and you can go in and you can edit your profile anytime you want. So let's say you want to join us and just start learning, right? Start to get, a better understanding of how to protect your rights. And you want to just be private for now. That's totally fine. And then, let's say in a week from now, you've gone through some trainings, you've experienced our incredible community and the support that's available to you. Then you can go back in and just switch the setting to public, right? So you can always change anything there. And then this is the directory that we've mentioned a number of times. And it's, oops, what did I do? Let's go back here. All right. So it does list of, there we go. So you can search by city, right? So there's quite a few cities here, and if you don't see your city, then that's okay. It'll be added as soon as you become a member, right? So you can search by city and see what other businesses are there in your neighborhood, or as a customer, they can go in and see who they can support, right? And then it's also searchable by sector as well. So there's a number of sectors here, and we're always adding more as well. So, and then each of these are clickable. Let's check out this one of our newest members. Let's see if they've got their profile somewhat set up. So they got their logo here, got a map so people can find them really easily. They're in Mississauga. All right, this is probably not this is one of our standard banners. We try to fit it to the industry that we usually have a tattoo one for the tattoo parlors, but anyway, it's not perfect, but yeah, there's room for him to have put them to have put a description here and a video. So this one doesn't have a website yet, but there's lots of things that can be added to that, but just as an example. So that's not
Maybe you can share Zach's profile, because he's definitely one of the most completed profile.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
And he's obviously one of the founding members from day one, and one that's been resisting the government in Ottawa since October. So he's definitely one of the brave souls and activists and patriots of this country. So yeah, this is Zach's profile here.
All right, so here's Zach. So this is a banner of his actual gym, right? So he gets to feature his space. There's his logo, he's got his map, of course, his website. He's got a nice description of what he specializes in, and then he's got a video here that he was interviewed for Rebel News, right? Rebel News offers to do interviews with those who are willing to open and defy the orders. So iwillopen.com is their site, and so yeah, you're welcome to. We can help connect you with them, or you can reach out to them yourself if you want to be profiled on their show, and you can add that video. Or you could just add a video that you've done for your own business and maybe you've uploaded it to YouTube. You can just include the link there, and it's all very automated. So yeah, it's super easy to do. Like I said, it'll take maybe 10 minutes for you. Okay. The rest of the site you guys can check out on your own. Just some basic information here about what we can offer. For volunteers, there's also, and for, like we said earlier, business owners become volunteers and activists within our network. So there's some just easy to access materials that you can help to us to spread the word. So I really don't want to take up too much time. So that's the website in a nutshell. But as soon as you register, within a day or so, you hear from me, and I get you all hooked into our Telegram chat, and make sure you have all of the trainings. Like they're actually all within your account. So that account section now has all of the basic 101 training. So, you know, you don't have to search for them. They're right there, already there for you. So we're getting real set up here, and yeah, anyway, but I'll make sure that you're fully set up and empowered with everything you need to be successful. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Yes, thank you to Daniel Ray. Big shout out to him working diligently on that website, and obviously Samantha helping with all the content. And again, all of you guys doing your part. And again, like I said earlier, everything makes a difference. Everything matters. So keep doing what you can. And we're just getting started. Honestly, guys, I say this often. You know, it's just the way I am. That if I'm going to start something, it's not just for the short term fix, whatever. Like we actually creating something powerful. We here. Definitely for the long run, making sure that we're creating pretty much a lobby group that can represent the interests of the small businesses. And then finally, the governments can actually respect us as Canadians and actually respect our needs. And we got to make sure that. So this is just the first foundation of that step, I guess. You know, we'll see how it goes. We'll go with the process. But the other point that I wanted to mention is there's such a thing that I have in my mind, and it's called freedom economy. And freedom economy is something real that we can create and we have power of. Because if you think about this, we have all the pieces to create a successful economy. We have the business owners, we have the employees, the people that actually want to work in the businesses and who are being let go from other places because of their exemptions or anything else, right? And then guess what? We have droves and droves of customers who actually want to go and participate in all your businesses. So we truly have all the pieces for the freedom economy. And that's, whether you realize it or not, you pretty much the founding members of that freedom economy, because you're choosing to open based on your rights and your freedoms, right? And you're going to participate in that aspect. So for me, it's very exciting to know that we, again, creating something powerful and then something exceptional that's going to create a wave of change. And that's also the other way how we can look at what we're doing is we have a platform for the social change. Because as much as the government and tyrannical, you know, bureaucrats and corporations, whatever they want to impose a certain way of life on us, we are saying no. We're doing a hard stop. We're drawing a line. Enough is enough. We're not complying. I just made a poem. It's good that I have this on a recording, right? So I'll use it later.
There was a quick question in the chat that
Yes.
I actually should have mentioned when I was showing the website. There is a spot for volunteers to register. That's a 1-minute form, but really important so that we can get you linked in with our volunteer community, and we can get a sense of where all of our beautiful volunteers are across the country to support our initiative. So yeah, it's a 1-minute form on the website, just on the far right-hand side that I didn't show you.
Awesome. And again, guys, for your business profiles, if you haven't completed this, please complete all the details, because it will help us to direct the people to you, right? The business, if we know where you are located geographically, will help us, because Samantha actually organizing a list of businesses that we can set to our supporters and all the mailing list, and that's basically what you're going to receive. As much as some businesses have a concern of losing the business, in the customers there is that maybe choosing not to support you because you're taking the stand, please understand you're going to easily replace and overpower that list for sure, because there's way more people who actually want to participate in the regular life, like it's 2019, than a few numbers that are hypochondriacs and the people that wanted to be a jackass, not to use the other word, and now they have a license to be one, right? So, and there are small numbers. They just have the platform right now to do this, and again, we will stop us, right? So with all of your help, with all of your determination, with all your courage and inspiration of others to do the same, we know that we are on the right side of history. And again, this is the message that I've been saying since last year. As much as they want to make it political or whatever else, this is not a right or left wing issue. This is about right and wrong issue, and we know which side of the history we are on. So power to the people, to the business owners to true Canadians, to true patriots. And like I said from the beginning, as much as we want to sometimes maybe to be in the shadow, so to speak, right, and do things covert, it comes a time when we have to stand up and be determined and facing, you know, the tyranny and facing the intimidation and just saying, no, I will not take it. Enough is enough. And you can do whatever you want to me, but I'm going to stand my ground because what I'm fighting for is way bigger than all of us combined. And that's what we're doing here with this movement. And again, we're just getting started. So I'm so inspired and grateful for all of you who are already part of this movement, part of this network. And tomorrow is the day, February 11th. Let's go, everybody. All right. Well, thank you. Samantha, a few words to close up, and then we're definitely going to check the updates tomorrow, and really excited for February 11th. Is the day when we open in the country.
Yeah, I mean, you've said, all of us have pretty much said it all, but I just want you to know that I'm so proud to be a part of this initiative. You know, I work day and night, and it's my number one priority. And you know, I'm all in, fully committed, and I know that I am not alone. There are so many fully committed people in this network, and just really grateful for you all. And I'm excited to see how tomorrow goes and what comes from tomorrow, even more so, right? That ripple effect that we've been talking about. I'm really excited to see the messages flood in after tomorrow.
Awesome.
So thank
awesome.
you all.
Thank you, everybody. Much love. Stay healthy.
That's my
Justice
second
over
word.
fear.
Stay blessed.
Can I say
Fear
one
and
last
love
thing
over
for
fear.
people? Can I say one last thing for people?
Yeah, please send it.
Sorry,
Please.
I'm a historian, and I just kind of wanted to give some people some encouraging advice. One of the great leaders that I've always looked up to that I follow is Winston Churchill. And Winston Churchill said a quote that hopefully you guys can hear me when I read this. But one of the quotes he wrote was, "All the great things are simple and many can be expressed in a single word: freedom, justice, honor, duty, mercy, and hope." So my point to all that is that quote is such a great quote. Everything can be summed up in one word. We want our freedom. We want our justice. We want our hope. We want our future. Everybody open tomorrow. Let's rock and roll it, and let's kick some ass.
Let's go, Canada.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Make Canada free again. Let's go, everybody.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Love
Canada
everybody.
needs us. Let's do this.
Thank you,
Let's
Vlad.
rock,
Fired
guys.
up.
Thank you.
Fired
We're all
up. Thank you,
essential.
everybody.
We're all essential. One love.
Yeah.
One love, 100%. Love over fear every day, every day. Love
Thank
over
you very
fear.
much.
Stay healthy, guys.
You
Bye.
too.
Happy birthday.
Bye now.
Rock on, guys.
God bless.
Okay. Bye. everybody.
Samantha,
Bye.
can I just say something, Samantha, before you hang up?
Sure.
I heard in one of your voice clips or wherever it was that you yourself have a business that you've been mainly running online. What is it?
Jenna, maybe you and I could chat after the call,
okay.
just for this. I'll be sure to message you, okay?
Okay, sure.
You got it. Bye, guys.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
everybody. Thank you for being brave.
Yeah.
Sure.